Hello and welcome to another episode of the EXL Podcast. Today we have a special treat for you. We're interviewing the crew that have brought you Black Hops, the first ever Call of Duty beer. Joining us today we have Michael and Eddie.
How you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having us on.
And as always, I have my co-host Aussie Gamer.
Yeah, g'day Bella. Look, this has to be the most exciting podcast combining beer and Black Ops.
It doesn't get much better. All right, so look, let's get straight into it. Now that you've launched Black Hops, what has been the response so far?
It's been epic. As you can imagine, bringing together craft beer and cult game like Call of Duty Black Ops, it's always going to be one to get a good response. And we've been blown away how far and wide this kind of the story has travelled so far. It's awesome. All
right, now I've got to ask, look, from the side of a beer drinker straight up, where the hell can we get our hands on this product?
Yeah, it's a good question. So this beer is available exclusively in Australia from Beerbud. It's an online liquor distributor.
Yep.
So you can head over to their website and there's a banner on the homepage about how to purchase, and they'll deliver Australia-wide.
Beautiful.
So what kind of impact has this partnership with Activision had on your company since the official announcement?
Yeah, it's been huge. We've been really excited to kind of combine two of our passions together for this project, and as you can imagine, the size of Activision and the Call of Duty community getting behind this, it's been unreal. And yeah, it's our phones haven't stopped ringing since the beer came out. It's been awesome.
Fantastic.
So walk us through, I guess, some of the history of you guys as a company or a brewery. How did it all start? How did things evolve? And what impact has Black Ops as a brand had for you guys as a business? Like, how is it evolving since you guys have gone live with this product?
Yeah, it's a good question. I might let Eddie answer it. He always tells the story so well.
Well, we just had our 1 year anniversary, I guess you'd call it, on the 2nd of November, which nicely lined up, and it was a coincidence as well. It lined up with the date that this beer went on sale. November the 2nd, 2014, we came out with, it was called an eggnog stout. It was a spice stout that we brought out in the hot summer months of southeast Queensland, which was, I guess, risky in itself. The whole idea of Black Ops was just me, Govs, and Dan at the pub, and we got talking about this particular beer, the eggnog stout. We all got really excited, and Govsy's background, and at the time he was a brewer, and he still is a brewer, but he'd been brewing for 7 odd years on a commercial level. So me and Dan, we weren't brewers, we were just drinkers. So we sort of found out and that we had an idea of a beer, and then we had someone who could make it. So we homebrewed that, and it was really damn tasty. So looked to commercially brew it, and the rest is history. So what we've been doing for the last 12 months is it's called Gypsy Brewing. We don't have a physical brewery. We go to breweries and use their tanks when there's availability. But there's not a hell of a lot of options in Queensland to do that. Up here, it's not so easy to get tank space, which was frustrating for us as a keen new company, I guess. So the next logical step was to make the moves to open our own, which is where we're at now. So we get the keys to our brewery on Monday, and
Oh, wow.
and the next couple of months is setting it up. So all going well. We'll have our brewery open early in the new year.
There does seem to be this emergence of craft beer as like a massive growing segment within the whole world of beer. Is that sort of something you guys have tapped into?
I guess so, but I think it's across all sorts of food stuff and drink stuff. People are just really interested to know where it's come from, who's behind it, what's gone into it. They're prepared to get that quality over quantity, I think. So the craft beer scene's really booming, but I think so is all the similar sort of scenes in food and drink, and you got cold drip coffee, and you've got the markets where people go to buy their fruit and vegetables and meet the farmers and that sort of thing. I think it's the same sort of deal with craft beer, and that people who live locally want to go to a local brewery to get their fresh beer.
Very cool.
It's been a busy year.
I can imagine. What does make it so unique apart from its Black Ops rebranding?
Yeah, it's a good question. So when we first got in conversation with Activision about making this beer, we were really passionate about making a product that represented both our companies. So the logical first step was that it needed to be a black beer. And coming into the Australian summer, black beers can be a little bit intimidating and might be a bit heavy on the palate. So we went about creating a black beer that didn't taste like a black beer. We saw some special ingredients, like a special variety of wheat that we used in this beer, which gives it a nice, dark, rich colour. But it also has that nice, refreshing, easy drinkability of like an American pale ale. So I think that's what makes it unique. But we're also proud that it kind of does represent this coming together. It's not just just an offset beer by itself.
Yeah, I like that comparison that you give it, that, it kind of, you look at it and you see one thing, but when you drink it, you taste another, and it plays with your mind. Just like you said, that, so does the storyline with Black Ops 3.
Yeah, which is really cool. Like, we really definitely wanted to have some subtle references and connections to the game, and that's definitely one of them.
And I must admit, the first time I saw it, the first thing I thought of is it must be some sort of like a dark brown ale or a porter or something like that. So to hear it was a pale ale and probably a lot easier to drink, I thought that was really appealing. So well done.
Yeah, well, that's we chose to use black bottles. So when you get the beer, you'll see that it's quite actually difficult to see what colour the beer is. So what we're hoping is that people will take the lid off and have a sip, and that'll be their first impression, and then you go to pour it into a glass and you'll see this colour, kind of playing with your mind a little bit. So
in terms of, I guess, linking it to the whole Call of Duty franchise, so who was kind of the inspirational spark behind that decision? Is it another one of those cases where you guys sat around a pub and had that kind of light bulb moment, or what happened?
Yeah, totally. Like, so the name Black Hops Brewing came about exactly as you said. Eddie, Dan, and myself sitting at the pub over a few beers discussing, what are we going to call this brewery? And we had a lot of back and forth, and a lot of names came up that didn't really kind of stick. And then Black Hops came up, and it was awesome. We loved it from the start. It was obviously a nod to the Call of Duty, which we're all fans of, but it also has that relevance to like a black operation, which is quite stealthy and secretive, which is very ironic to our business plan. We're actually quite open and share a lot of the information about our brewery online through our blog and podcast. So we really loved the name and stuck with it. And we never at that stage dreamt that it would turn into a Call of Duty official beer.
I can imagine. It just sounds completely surreal, the whole situation. So one of the things that is really important to me is adding one of these bottles to my Coca-Cola collection. I mean, there are so many fans out there that for them this is a must-have for their Coca-Cola collection. Have you been sent any pictures or fan art or anything like that yet?
I think they're starting to come in now, because I think today was the day people started to receive it in the mail. So yeah, we've been tagged in a lot of pictures today, and it's been pretty damn cool. I actually had a phone call a couple of days ago. I don't know how the guy got my number, but he gave me a call direct to my phone and had a bunch of questions for me, which was kind of random, but equally cool.
All right, so I guess the next inevitable question is where to from here? Like, Black Ops has obviously opened up a lot of doors, and I guess the ability to publicize the brewery. So what's next, and how do you guys take advantage of this publicity?
Sure, that's another really good question. So Dan, Eddie, and myself, we're quite big dreamers, and when we started Black Hops Brewing, we were never going to be satisfied just being a small local craft brewer. We always had ambitions to expand the market and obviously become an international brand one day. So this has really helped us in kickstarting that kind of strategy that we have. What's next for us is, as Eddie was mentioning before, we're about to open our own physical brewery, so that's really going to be our focus for the next 12 months, and filling a lot of the demand that comes from this beer and getting our beer out to venues around Australia.
Sensational.
I think the cool thing that we get out of this is some really crafty, interesting beer has landed in the hands of possibly people who may not have had it in their hands. Like a black beer, for example, like Michael was saying, but to start with. But it's quite hoppy, and it's an American pale ale, which again is it's quite a crafty beer. So if you're not on the hunt for those sorts of beers, it might not have ended up in your glass. So we've been introduced to a really big new audience, which is awesome. And yeah, just awesome. Can't put a price on it.
And the decision to keep it local as opposed to export, is that just supply and demand?
It was more of a practicality. Obviously, we only had about 6 months to get this project together, and when you're dealing, when you're manufacturing alcohol and dealing, with with two different companies, plus trying to get all the marketing around it done, it was quite a big feat. So we just couldn't, in that short amount of time, plan something international. Who knows what's in store for the future, but it was just, definitely a huge task to get this out on time and before the release of the game. So that's where we focused our attention.
That's probably the biggest thing that we've been getting tweeted about, all the American stuff.
I'd love to be able to send it overseas,
Well, even we've had communication from Americans saying, how do I get this? Send me one, please send me one. So I'm sure you guys are getting that too.
And they've got a seriously big craft beer market over there. It's a lot more developed than it is here in Australia. So it would be the market, I think, is screaming out for it as it is, let alone it being a Call of Duty beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few people, taking 6-packs on their plane over to the States and sharing with their friends.
Absolutely. So you've done Black Hops 3. If you had the opportunity to craft a beer for another gaming franchise, what would your choice be?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm a big NBA fan, so I like NBA games.
NBA games. What kind of beer would you make for that?
I can't. Couldn't be the same, could it?
Well, no.
I
There's something for you to put your thoughts to. That could be the next adventure.
Something with hops and.
Yeah, I reckon mine would definitely be a Guitar Hero beer. I've spent years in front of the TV, so playing Guitar Hero, I absolutely love that game. To come up with a beer for it, that would be something else.
It would have to be like an 8%, wouldn't it, for playing Guitar Hero?
Oh yeah, it'd have to be a Rockstar beer.
It has to be black too. Imperial Stout.
All right, now the last question I've got for you guys is, if you're sitting down to a Black Hops 3 and you're looking to get on those on a Friday night, what sort of meal would you recommend you have with it? Because obviously you think Black Ops, you're probably thinking, you're sitting down to a massive steak, but what's your opinion of the beer and how well does it associate itself with food?
Yeah, cool. So beer and food pairing is a passion of mine. Beer goes so well with food, and it's really fun to play around with different styles and different matchings. But for this beer in particular, I think it would go really well with something with a bit of spice to it. So maybe like Indian or Chinese or even Mexican, something a little bit rich but not too heavy. It's got that nice firm bitterness to it, which can kind of offset the spiciness in your food. So it goes really well, I think. So I reckon that's what I'll be eating.
Beautiful. Well done. Can't wait to give it a crack.
Cool.
Awesome. So I can't let you guys go without asking you, which one of you is a better Call of Duty player?
Oh, that's the number one question, but of course it's me.
All right, let the KDs do the talking. Who averages the highest KD?
Oh, I think it was pretty close the other day, mate, but I might get you.
That's what you think.
So will you be playing Black Ops on PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
On PlayStation, yeah, for sure.
Very good. Well, thanks for catching up.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on. It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been fantastic getting to meet you guys. Be sure to check the comment section below, everybody. I'll make sure that I link where you can go and actually purchase this beer from. Make sure you're 18 years or older. And I'll also link their Twitter account and their website for you, so you can go and check out everything about the Black Hops Brewery, what they've done previously, what they're going to be doing in advance, and make sure you give these guys some feedback, because I'm sure they're going to love to see your fan art, hear your thoughts on what you thought of Black Hops, and we will be sure to bring you any further updates from this brewery in the future. Thanks. Bye.